All right, Reverend Crystal Cox here, and this is more on alternative medicine. And for decades, I consulted people on alternative medicine, and I sold arginine. And so there's a lot of videos and information still out there on that. So this is kind of an update of where I'm at now in 2020. It's not that I don't believe in that stuff anymore. I do. But it's not. It doesn't trump belief, and it doesn't trump energy field. So dry fasting. Now fill in like some of the last ones where So sometimes there's these voices that try to kick your ass, right? Or that negative voices in your head. When I was dry fasting, those are gone. It feels at first like it's pulling, and you think you're hungry, but really it's the parasites going, feed me, I'm craving this, I'm craving that. It's not really you that's craving it. It's something else. And I learned that hunger pains are not what I thought they were. And when old cells would slough off and new would come in, I would just have all this wonderful energy. Yes, you'd have the different healing crisis stuff, but then what would come back is new cells. And just strong, and you're youthing too when you do this. It eats old cancerous materials, scars, tumorous materials. It eats whatever it needs because you're not giving it, food or water. And sometimes people sip water through the night, and a lot of water creates inflammation. When I was forming my brain tumor, my naturopath told me this decades ago that I was drinking too much water. I was flushing out all the potassium I was flushing, because I drink a couple gallons a day. I just loved it. And I had also studied all of this stuff on, what the bleep, Emoto. I had studied, I can't pronounce the guy's name, on the book You're Not Sick, You're Thirsty, and what chronic dehydration does to the body. And so I was really into hydrating because I had studied so much on water cures. Okay, and I still do believe that to an extent. However, it just really didn't occur to me that I could stop doing all of the cures, whether it be water or, garlic. By the way, in that first video, we didn't talk about garlic, but if you still are in that 3D thing, garlic, anti-infection, garlic is a miracle. Garlic, chewing on it, letting it go down your throat for throat stuff, it's hard to do, but it really, really works. And on your gums, your teeth, it's just amazing. Oregano oil, there's tons of natural cures out there, real cures. But beyond that is belief, is frequency, is who we are in our energy field. And when you dry fast, you get to that. So it's not that I don't know that hydrating, all the studies on that, because like I said, I was really into You're Not Sick, You're Thirsty, got all that guy's books, had his tapes. People think that they got all these different ailments, but really it's because they're not getting enough water. Well, that is one approach. However, the dry fasting was so amazing that it enabled me, I've lost a bunch of weight, I got healthy and strong. And living in a car, when I'd eat like 4 hours a day, so I'd have like hummus, and I'd have Coke, and I'd have like raspberry-filled donuts, and it wasn't like I was like just eating organics, okay, when I'm eating. And I still lost tons of weight, and I just felt great. So it's not about so much as what you're eating, right? But your body having that time to do what the body naturally does. So dry fasting is a miracle cure. If you want to know more about it, reverendcrystalcox@gmail.com. Okay, so the next level of that then is, yes, different frequencies, but every thought, every program, every belief, every time a negative emotion comes up, you identify that belief. And this assists you to create the reality you want. Because most walk around with unconscious beliefs, something makes them feel bad, and they're like, well, what must I believe to feel bad? You ask yourself, why do I feel bad? Well, what definition and perceptions are you bringing to the table with this particular thing that you feel bad? Because you only feel bad because of a definition that you've put to it. So once you identify all of these beliefs, then your diseases go with it, right? Your chronic arthritis, your fibromyalgia, your chronic shoulder pain, your stomach pain. It's hard to believe, that a physical miracle can happen with a mental suggestion or really knowing your beliefs. But I've seen it. Like, you know, people going to go into heart surgery the next day, or just these radical, like kind of remove a body part, going to do something to their leg, going to get this surgery for this major thing. They're in so much pain. And once they click into their belief on a certain thing, the pain goes away like it never even existed. It's miraculous and phenomenal. Your thoughts create your reality. Your thoughts project your reality. So I don't talk about all the herb and the vitamin and all that healing stuff anymore. And so if I'm like, okay, someone's like, oh, you think Coke's good for that person? No, if you've done the work, you've done dry fasting, removing programs and triggers, then when you drink Coke, you're not absorbing that low vibration, you're not absorbing that sugar, you're not, you can transmute anything you drink or anything you eat into whatever you want it to be. It's all an illusion, it's all a belief. But until you've done that work, it is going to make your bones, like Mountain Dew, Coke, it will take the calcium out of your bones and you'll break bones easily. You will get a stomach ache. You will feel, it will feed cancerous cells. It will, until you rise up out of that third dimensional thinking. And then you can pretty much drink or do anything you want, right? So, and like people talk to me, about smoking. Well, is smoking bad for you? Well, even in my 3D mode, I'm like, okay, well, smoking isn't necessarily bad. The reason I had bad angina and I had smoker's arteries was because I was around secondhand smoke my whole young life. And then when I turned 18, I played the poker tables for 18 years, smoke next to me. So, but I cleared that up with arginine. Boom, gone, done. And so, if you smoke and you believe it's cancerous and you believe it's bad for you, or you let negative people around you say that, then that's your truth on it. If you believe it's good for you, then it's good for you. What I was going to say about the 3D one is, in my studies back then, it was mostly vitamin A. So the chemicals in the cigarettes, especially mainstream and not that Native American brand, they rob your body of nutrients. So people end up dying of a nutrient loss. Like my grandma died of, she had emphysema, osteoporosis, all of that. She had emphysema 20 years after she quit smoking. And so my studies then were, like say a lemon water fast for 3 days, clean the lungs. But living how I was living, still living, I did massive breath work, raising my frequency with breath work. Oh, this is how I breathe. This was the fast one. So I was reenacting it, and breath all the way in and all the way out. And the more dry fasting I did, the deeper I could breathe. Like now I feel like I can breathe to the center of the earth. Just, And so all of that deep breathing and... kind of forgot what I was saying. But anyway, this is kind of to let people know why I'm not doing alternative medicine consulting like I was. Why I'm not talking about or selling arginine. To me, now I know that if I can help people to understand their belief, their physical ailments will change. And that I've done so much work on myself and in raising my own vibration, that my energy healing, faith healing, bioenergy healing, shamanic healing, call it whatever you want, my energy field and someone else's energy field is raising their vibration. And raising their vibration, my hands are just buzzing saying this, I can heal them. But belief is not really required now as we're moving into the new earth energy, right? I can cure them whether they believe they can be cured or not, because I believe. Because my energy field is so strong, I raise theirs. It used to be like, okay, you give them a healing, it kind of sits over here for when they want it and when they're ready. But now we're in new earth energy, so anytime you're like 12 feet from somebody, hence this 6 feet distance thing, you're raising their vibration. And we passed through, sometime within the last year, where you go to the next level, you can't go back. So you can't lower your frequency, and you can't be around people that will lower your frequency. So, we used to have to protect in energy healing ourselves from negative energy of our clients. Well, in New Earth energy, you don't, because there's no such thing. You can never go lower. You can only go higher. So you're raising the energy of the people that you work with, but only to the degree that you've done the work. You've removed the programs and the triggers. Okay, otherwise, yeah, it's good, and energy healing is good, and it's good for everybody. But if your healer's done the work, they have a different frequency, right? by the way, Penny, I think Penny Pierce, that book Frequency, it's amazing. So your hands in their energy field raises their frequency. And that is energy healing. That is faith healing. That is bioenergy healing. You know, being able to move people's energy field. We are our energy field. We are our consciousness with or without our body. And so now I'm into vibrational healing, intentional healing. I used to always call it that. You know, when I would study all the different methods, I didn't want to do any particular thing, therapeutic touch, Reiki, all of that. I didn't go down to any certifications like I do this. I always called it intentional healing. I didn't realize that psychic surgery, quantum shifts were possible in an instant like that. I kind of learned it in a way of studying Raymond Grace, of shifting someone to a reality, like say if they had a leg injury, shifting them to the moment before they had the injury and having them do something different that day. So instead of getting in that car and going that one place that caused that accident, they got in the car, they did something else. And shifting the energy shifts them and shifts their reality, depending on if they can believe it to be true. So I kind of knew that, but now that I know that you can quantum shift, and that, like, even if someone breaks their leg, if they don't know yet, you're like, oh no, it's not broke, it's cool. You can shift them to reality where it's not broke. And I know people who do that. But you have to be at a different advanced level. And then, I don't know why this popped into my head, but Cryon talks about a certain yogi that, you know, you can bring things in from other dimensions, like bring in objects, bring in energy from other dimensions. Also, there's quantum studies on, you know, talking to or studying with a different version of yourself in reality. Like say you want to learn the piano and another version of you in another reality plays the piano. That quantum healing guy, there's a lot of really cool stuff on that. But the point is that I don't teach herbal cures anymore or high vitamin cures, because it's all about frequency and energy and belief now. And so I've been getting those questions on and off over the last 5 years of, you know, why aren't I selling arginine? Why don't I do arginine videos or nitric oxide? I mean, arginine's a miracle, and there's a million things I could, well, at least 1,000 things, okay, at least 100. I can talk about the benefits of arginine, and I love it. But that's not where we're at. I mean, you can put the energy in water. Like I used to give people objects or give them a little water or whatever. The energy and the belief in that is enough. So yeah, check out Raymond Grace. Check out, Biology of Belief. There's just everything that I've ever studied really talks about this. I just didn't realize that this is what it was talking about. So there's just to kind of wrap that up of how I've moved from. So yeah, I don't think that you can just eat what you want now if you're not conscious. So if I say, oh yeah, it's okay for me to eat what looks like crap, but not you. But that's because I'm not better than you. I'm just consciously changing it. I've changed my belief of what it is to me. And I've cleared programs. And I've dry fasted tons. And I've cleared all old energies. And anyway, that's the best I can explain that for now. If you have any questions, email me at reverendcrystalcox@gmail.com. I love you. God bless you all.